Hello everyone and welcome to Summer Reading Diaries. So I'm just going to basically vlog what I'm reading, focusing on mainly summery, fun romances. So follow along if you want to see what I read and what I think about it. So the book we're starting with is The Love Haters. I cannot wait to read this. It is by Catherine Center. Of course, she's one of my new favorite authors. I've read 2 books by her, which have both been 4 stars and above. My hopes are very high for this book and I have very high expectations. What I'm aware of so far is that it's about Katie, who is this filmmaker campaign type of person. Gets this job to film this Coast Guard to try to recruit more people to join the Coast Guard. She's just filming that, and specifically one person who went viral a couple years ago for saving Jennifer Aniston's dog, which is so funny. That's such a fun idea, such a unique idea. I feel like I've never really read a book about a Coast Guard. I'm about 30 pages in so far, and I really like it. Like, it's so cute and so fun, and it also I feel like it dives right in. Like, it doesn't waste any time, which is something I love about Catherine Center's books. We are starting this. I'm so excited. It's so cute. I like how it's like green and then this little cover. So hopefully this is a good book. Bye. Welcome back. It is now a couple days later and I have finished The Love Haters by Catherine Center. Oh my gosh, absolutely insane. I rated 4.75 stars. I go off my gut when I give a 5-star, and there's a certain feeling I get. It's like just this, I can't describe it, and I didn't exactly get that, but it was still like, oh my gosh, amazing. I forgot exactly how much I told you about this book. Her whole company is being downsized. Like, a lot of the people are getting fired and she does not want to get fired. One of her co-workers, he's like higher up than her. He is given this job, but he does not want it. So he gives it to her to try to like help them both because he doesn't want to go on it. If she does good on that job, then she's able to not get fired, hopefully. The job is for a Coast Guard who lives in Key West, and Katie does not know how to swim at all, and she deals with a lot of body image issues, which is one of the biggest themes. So check trigger warnings for that, because it does talk a lot about that. It's really, really insane. Like, there's so many twists, and that's the thing about Catherine Center books. Like, they seem like these cute romance books, and they are, but they also have some crazy twists in them. Like, The Bodyguard had this insane like twist suspense at the end. I was not expecting it. This definitely also had it. Just thinking about it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, mind blown. And another thing I love is how the ending tied up so perfectly. It is like tied up in a little bow, which is exactly how I want my books to end. I don't want to leave with a sad ending. One of the sad endings I experienced was If He Had Told Me. I was literally, I rated it like a 3.5 star. I loved the book, but the ending just literally made me feel so sad. Nothing wrapped up really, and I was just left with this feeling of like, this is terrible. Like, I don't want this. That's why I love reading the second book, because it tied everything up very nicely. But this was just so sad. But this tied up absolutely perfectly. There's even like this one tiny cute little detail that I loved so much. If you read it, you will definitely know what I'm talking about, or maybe you won't, but it's so cute, and I just love this book so much. I'm so glad I got it in physical because I was just gonna read it on my Kindle, but I love like collecting books too that I love, so I'm really glad I got this one. I finished that book yesterday morning, and then pretty much immediately after I started Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about this again. It kind of had its moment, and then once it got its TV show, it kind of resurfaced, I feel like. So I'm really excited to read it finally. I did read One Golden Summer a couple months ago. I think it's actually back in the spring sometime. I didn't know it was part of a series, or like this was supposed to be before One Golden Summer. I'm pretty sure it adds more if you read this and then One Golden Summer. So this is about a girl named Persephone, which they call her Percy, which is such a cute name. It gives like a now and like many years ago. So it's like two different timelines. And it shows the story of Percy living in this cottage near a lake. She meets these two boys, Charlie and Sam, spends pretty much every summer with them, and it like says in both timelines like very different things. Like you see these 2 points. It's kind of a mystery of how one leads to the other, and so like you don't know a ton, like just opening. Like I'm like about 45 pages in and I'm still like, I don't know what happened. So it's like a little bit of like a you find out as you go. I already know like kind of what happens because, like I said, I read One Golden Summer. I know like who ends up together and what happens to the brothers and Percy. So it's kind of fun, honestly. I like reading books where I already know what happens. Like I guarantee there's like a happy ending, and I love reading about that because then I'm like none of the anxiety of, oh my gosh, are they gonna end up how I want them to, which usually they do, but it's already all tied up pretty much for me. So I'm actually really excited to read it and make sure that, you know, these characters are okay. I'm gonna keep reading, and I cannot wait to read this. Hey guys, this is a new reading spot. It's in my basement, and we just got this couch down here, and it's so comfy. I've just been down here pretty much all day reading and writing. Well, mostly writing. Still reading Every Summer After, but I will say I really like it so far. I've seen a lot of, I guess, like hate about this book, like that it's not that great and they didn't enjoy it, but so far I'm really liking it, and it's got me hooked a lot. I'm gonna keep reading and see how I like it. Good morning. It is the next day, and I finished Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Now, before I get into this review, I want to preface by saying I don't think this is a bad book. I think the plot is well structured and the writing is clear. It's easy to understand, but I didn't necessarily enjoy this. Like I said before, it follows a girl who has a cottage, summer house near a lake, and she lives right next door to these 2 boys, Charlie and Sam, and they spend every summer together. They get super close, and 2 of the people start to fall in love. Well, they already like have been in love for a long time. It's a very slow burn, childhood friends to lovers. It just wasn't doing it for me. There was more spice than I'm used to. I usually like little to no spice in my books, but I already knew going in because I've read, like I said, I read other books by Carly Fortune, so I already knew going into this that it wouldn't be the spice level that I'm comfortable with or used to. One of the biggest things that I just was lacking was the character depth and just any emotional response. A lot of the times, if I write a book higher, it has to make me feel something, and unfortunately this book just really didn't make me feel much of anything. It was very addicting. I mean, I finished it basically in a day. It was very bingeable. It was a nice little escape, like a little summer fun way to get your mind off of things, because there's a lot of drama that unfolds, so it's like really fun to just like dive into this book. I also mentioned that there was a now and then timeline. I did enjoy the then timeline a lot more than the now timeline. The now timeline, like nothing really happened. It was kind of boring. But the then timeline, where it like went back in the past to explain what happened, was really interesting and super fun. And it was when they were teenagers, so it shows all the fun teenage things. So that was really fun. My final rating of this book is 2 stars. I still am impressed because it's her debut novel, and I think it, like I said, it's very well written. It's just not like something I will ever think about or not something I'm attached to, but it was still a fun read, and I don't know if I would recommend it as one of the books that I think to mention to people, because it's just, like I said, it won't be on my mind, but it's not a bad book. If that's your thing, you just want to escape, totally go for it. I also did buy Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune, which came out like maybe a month or 2 ago. I don't know if I'll be in this vlog, but I probably will read it at some point. This is like one of her latest books, obviously, so she's written a lot of books between this book and this book, so I'm expecting it to be a lot more developed, hopefully, and well written. Hello, I'm outside now. I'm going to show you the next book I'm going to begin to read, which I've already started, which is Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. I think that's how you say her last name. I saw this book recommended by Haley Pham watching an old video of hers. This book looks super cute and very summery, so I really want to start reading it. What I know so far, because I'm only like 28 pages in, is that it's about Samantha. She's engaged to this man named Jack. He's a doctor. She describes him as like the perfect guy. Their relationship has been perfect. They are planning their wedding. Her mom wants her to come back home to see if she wants to have her wedding at their like hometown where she grew up, instead of like this fancy place in New York that they were deciding on. Samantha has a lot of history in that town, especially with a guy named Wyatt, who was her childhood friend slash lover slash he broke her heart. He still lives in the town, and she like sees him like in different places, but she never says hi because we don't know the history behind them, but it says there is history. Really interesting premise, and I'm intrigued, and the writing is super cute and fun so far, so I'm really looking forward to diving into this book. I want to give you a little bit of an update on how it's going. So, as far as this book, I actually haven't continued reading it since I last showed you, because I've been reading this book, You Have a Match by Emma Lord. Actually, like 200 pages into it. I started it a week ago. I was listening to the audiobook. I had this book on my shelf for like a long time, and I never picked it up because it just never intrigued me enough to keep reading past the first couple of pages. The audiobook really helped me to get into it, so I've been reading, and I actually really like it. The storyline reminds me of Parent Trap a little bit, where these 2 girls meet and they find out they're sisters, and so they make this plan to go to the same camp and figure out what happened and why Savannah, which is the sister who was adopted, why Savannah was put up for adoption when she was a baby, and why Abby, who is the main girl, wasn't, because they're only like a year or so apart and they look super alike, so it's like very Parent Trap-y. At first they don't get along, and Savannah and Abby are very different types of people. Savannah's this very orderly, put together person, and Abby's not. She's more of an adventurous, thrill seeker type of person, so they clash and butt heads, but they have to learn to work together to find out what happened. It's still hard for me to fully get thrown into this book. It just sort of feels like a little bit boring still. I do like Emma Lord's writing style. I think she's makes things clear. It's more of like show and not tell. I like when I, as the reader, can formulate my opinions and assumptions about who the character is based on what they think and what they act, and I don't necessarily want it told to me all the time. That being said, I really like it still, and it's definitely giving me camp summer vibes, so it's fun, and it's only like 300 pages, so I'm excited to finish it. next day, and I finished You Have a Match by Emma Lord last night. 3-star books, which is what this fell under, are the hardest to rate for me because 3-star means that it wasn't bad, but also wasn't a standout, super good book. So it's kind of hard to formulate my opinions on them. I think that the vibes of the book were what carried it for me because I'm trying to read summer books, and this was definitely a summer camp book. It reminded me of like when I was a younger kid going to summer camp. And I also mentioned before that it reminded me of The Parent Trap, and I love that movie. So that was definitely another element that really helped me to dive into the book and to enjoy it more. Even though there was a lot of action happening, I felt like bored a lot of the times, which is weird because I shouldn't be, because I wouldn't say it was slow paced. So I had a hard time like finishing this book. I did like the characters. I thought they were very well thought out and not formulaic or stereotypical, which I hate when that happens in books. So this is good for that book. That's kind of all for this book. Would I recommend it? Maybe. I don't know if I would think of it to recommend. Now, for an update of the other book I've been reading, Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. I am on page 66, and I love this book. Like, I can already tell that Annabelle Monaghan is going to be a new favorite author for me. I'm never one to mark up books or highlight things. I like to keep my books in good condition and like newish, I guess, but I could not resist, so I feel like even put like a little tab here to remind myself about this quote, which I've never done before. So I wanted to read you that quote that made me highlight it. It's like when you've been covering up an ugly scar but also sort of want to show it to people so they know what you've been through. Oh my gosh, like that is like, I almost like cried after I read that because I was just like, that describes a feeling I have so perfectly, and it just like really like got straight to my soul. And I think there's another one I also wanted to read. Oh, here it is. It's so cute. Sam liked how Wyatt didn't talk unless he had something to say. I'm a type of person that hates useless small talk. Like, it's something I'm trying to help because I know that sometimes, like, if you're talking to a stranger, it's nice to just talk about nothing, but I really don't like it, like, especially if I have friends. Like, a lot of times, like, at school, it would be like, oh my gosh, I hate this class, I want it to be summer, I'm tired, and it was like, definitely fell victim to saying those things too, but it was like, whenever I said it, I was just like, what am I even talking about? Like, I don't even mean these things half the time. Anyway, have a great feeling about this book. As long as it continues or even gets better, then I will love it. So the last couple of books have been meh, like so. Really want a book that I love. Now I'm going to continue reading this, and I have my coffee. Let's get a good start to this day. I've only read a couple pages, but I really wanted to read another quote that I highlighted and put a little mark next to. I literally, this is so weird to me because I never do this, but this book is making me want to do that. Okay, here we go. She didn't laugh as a punctuation to something she just said or because the people around her were laughing. Sam laughed because something was really funny. So funny that it scrunched up her face and shook her shoulders. Oh my gosh. I can't. I love it so much. I'm gonna need to keep this highlighter and these marks next to me. I love this book so much. Hi. Let's talk about Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. Last night, I did finish this book. So cute. I already bought another book by Annabelle Monaghan. Let me go grab it. Yesterday, I went to Barnes & Noble and I found Dolly All the Time. It's so cute. It's by the same author. It looks so cute. It's a lot longer, which I'm really glad. Back to this book. I ended up rating it 4.25 stars. The storyline reminded me a lot of Every Summer After. I did enjoy this a lot more than Every Summer After though. I think the writing style was just a lot more my thing, I guess. It seemed more literary fiction than just romance, which is something I really love. The writing style, like I was talking about, I highlighted some things. I kept highlighting more, but I just didn't put tabs. I do want to tell you more about the story though, because I don't know if I really explained it very well. And now that I've read the whole thing, I can kind of give a better synopsis. It does have a now and a then timeline again. It's about Sam and Wyatt, who are best friends since they were children, and they fell in love. And then something really terrible happened between their families that caused a big rift between the two of them, because their families were also like best friends. But after that rift happened, they drew apart and stopped talking to each other for years and years and years. Sam comes back to like her town where their parents have a beach house because her mom wants her to come see the town and see if she wants to get married there, because she's engaged to Jack, who is this fancy doctor gym guy. Wyatt is also there that same week that she comes back. They kind of are able to reconnect and talk about what happened in the past. The reason why they like split up is like a mystery, I guess. It reveals itself little by little when it shows their story of how they fell in love as kids. This book is also no spice, which is something I really, really appreciate. Definitely recommend this book because it's so cute, and I'm so glad I got this. This would make the perfect beach read. That is the end of my summer reading diaries. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you sometime else. Bye!